welcome everyone to the In Focus series of Drishti IAS English. I am Pragya. In today's episode, we have a very crucial topic to discuss, that is in news currently. The title of our today's discussion is Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu governments versus the central government. So as you all are aware that yes, the Kerala government has filed a plea before the Honorable Supreme Court of India requesting the central government and requesting the Supreme Court to direct the central government to release disaster relief funds. And definitely it highlights that yes, there is a federal friction between the Karnataka government, Tamil Nadu government and other such governments and the central government. So in this discussion, we are firstly going to examine what is the Karnataka government's plea before the Honorable Supreme Court of India. We are also going to understand why has Tamil Nadu directly approached the Honorable Supreme Court of India claiming for disaster relief funds. Then we are also going to understand how are funds released to states from the NDRF. We are also going to examine the Kerala government's plea before the Honorable Supreme Court of India, and we will also ponder upon the concept of cooperative federalism that exists in India. And lastly, we are going to discuss a practice question for your prelims examination and a practice question for your mains examination. So if I talk about the background of our today's topic, the Honorable Supreme Court of India in the Karnataka plea for drought relief fund has opined that these issues which are occurring between the central government and the state governments can be resolved amicably. The Supreme Court has observed that let there not be a center-state contest. The Supreme Court has also shown its concern about the various state governments directly approaching the Honorable Supreme Court against the central government. Now you will ask me, ma'am, can the state governments actually approach the Honorable Supreme Court against the central government directly? Yes, they can approach the Honorable Supreme Court directly under its original jurisdiction. Let me know in the comment box below which article of our Indian Constitution mentions about the original jurisdiction of the Honorable Supreme Court of India. So the Supreme Court has suggested and given 2 weeks time in this case that yes, resolve the dispute amicably. Now let us examine what exactly was the Karnataka government's plea before the Honorable Supreme Court of India. So the Karnataka government had approached the Honorable Supreme Court against the union government demanding the release of drought relief under the National Disaster Response Fund or the NDRF. So the Karnataka government has said before the Honorable Supreme Court of India that yes, our state was reeling under severe drought. In the year 2023, okay, and we requested additional funds from the from the central government, and they are not sanctioning us this drought relief fund or the disaster relief fund. So basically it has asked the Supreme Court to direct the central government to release those funds from NDRF, and this petition by the Karnataka government has been filed under Article 32 of the Indian Constitution, which talks about our right to constitutional remedies. And this article has been opined as the heart and soul of our Indian Constitution by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So basically it is a public interest litigation against the central government, directing the asking the Honorable Supreme Court of India to direct the central government to provide for disaster relief funds, and it is being asked to the tune of rupees 18 crores by the Karnataka government. And if you will ask me the current status of Karnataka, you might be hearing in the news about the Bengaluru water crisis. So yes, Karnataka is still reeling under drought, and this previous year also it was also reeling under drought. So yes, there are drought-like conditions in the state of Karnataka. Moving forward, let us examine why Tamil Nadu has approached the Honorable Supreme Court of India directly. So if you'll see, you will notice a similarity between the Tamil Nadu government's petition and the Karnataka government's petition. Tamil Nadu government has also alleged stepmotherly treatment by the central government. It has said that by not giving us disaster relief funds, the central government has violated Article 14 and Article 21 of the citizens of Tamil Nadu as well as the citizens of Karnataka. So basically these are the allegations against the central government. Both of these states are saying that they are receiving stepmotherly treatment from the central government, and the Karnataka government's plea is on similar lines as of Karnataka's government. Moving forward, let us examine how are funds released to the states from the NDRF. So, as per January 2022, operational guidelines for constitution and administration of the National Disaster Response Fund, rupees 54,770 crores has been allocated for the NDRF from the fiscal year 2021-2022 to 2025-26. And what is this NDRF? This NDRF deals with severe calamities such as severe cyclones, severe floods, severe droughts, and these are considered severe in nature by the Government of India, and funds are released when the state government is not able to manage the disaster through the State Disaster Response Fund, and then the state government can approach the central government directing it to release additional funds from the NDRF. Moving forward, so basically states lacking sufficient funds in the SDRF in encountering a national calamity beyond their capacity to manage may request assistance from the NDRF, and as soon as they will request assistance from NDRF, the Ministry of Home Affairs will form IMCT, Interministerial Central Team, and this Interministerial Central Team will assess the situation, will realize the situation, will conduct a comprehensive assessment, and then it will decide that whether an additional funds from NDRF could be allocated to the state or not. Moving forward, the NDRF guidelines outline a systematic process for evaluating such requests, providing a structured approach for assessment. And as I said, IMCT will be established and it will visit the affected areas following a calamity and assess the necessity for additional funds. So basically it will physically visit the area that is being severely affected through a natural calamity, and then it will submit its recommendations to a subcommittee of the National Executive Committee consisting of relevant central ministry secretaries, which will determine the amount of funding that can be provided from the NDRF. Then a high-level committee led by the Home Minister and including the Ministers of Agriculture and Finance along with the Niti Aayog Vice Chairman will authorize the release of NDRF funds based on the assessments and recommendations. And once a report has been received by the central government, there is a mandate to release the fund within 1 month. And this mandate has been created under the Disaster Management Act of 2005, and this is basically been alleged by the Karnataka and Tamil Nadu governments before the Honorable Supreme Court of India that yes, even after receiving a recommendation that yes, they require additional funds to manage the natural calamities that have occurred in their respective states, the central government is not allocating funds from the NDRF. Moving forward, let us examine why has the Kerala government approached the Honorable Supreme Court of India. So the Kerala government has filed a plea against the central government alleging a restriction on its borrowing limit. Borrowing limits means borrowing, financial borrowing that a state is legally authorized to take from the central government. And although the plea didn't result in immediate relief, the Supreme Court in this case did not grant any kind of interim relief, but the Supreme Court in this case has referred various questions to the Constitution bench because they have not been interpreted by the Honorable Supreme Court previously. Moving forward, the questions raised in the plea relate to the interpretation of Article 293 of the Constitution, specifically whether states have a legally enforceable right to borrow from the union government or other sources, and if so, the extent to which this right can be regulated by the union government. So this is a question that has been referred by the Honorable Supreme Court of India for interpretation to the Constitution bench. Moving forward, the Supreme Court noted that Article 293 has not been subject to authoritative interpretation previously, and hence it falls within the scope of Article 145 Clause 3 of the Indian Constitution. And you will mention in the comment box below what does this Article 145 Clause 3 of the Indian Constitution talks about. What does Article 293 actually states? Additionally, the plea also raises various significant questions that impact the federal structure of governance as outlined in our Indian Constitution. So basically, as I said, all of these pleas highlight the fact that there is a federal friction between several state governments and the central government. Now, keeping this in mind, let's talk about what exactly is cooperative federalism. Cooperative federalism in India refers to the collaborative relationship between the central government and the state governments, where they work together to address national issues and achieve common goals while respecting each other's autonomy. So basically, they both come together to work for the people, work for the citizens of India. They collaborate with each other, they cooperate with each other in sharing of responsibilities, be it financial, be it related to the law and order. So you will see in the Indian Constitution, there are various articles that highlight that yes, there exists a cooperative federalism. For example, All India Services, for example, GST, for example, zonal councils. So basically, our Indian Constitution mandates that yes, the central government and state governments should function with each other in harmonious manner, should function in each other for the welfare of the citizens of India. And this is the concept of cooperative federalism. So with this, we come to a conclusion of our today's discussion. It will be interesting to see that whether there will be a tug of war between the central governments and the state governments. Is there a reconciliation at sight? Is there a solution at sight? Or will the states plead more before the Honorable Supreme Court of India? And time can only tell us all of this. Now let us discuss a practice question for your prelims examination. So the question is, the state governments can approach the Honorable Supreme Court under option A, original jurisdiction, option B, appellate jurisdiction, option C, advisory jurisdiction, and option D, none of the above. And this answer will be given by you to me in the comment box below. Now let us discuss a practice question for your mains examination. So the question is, critically analyze cooperative federalism in India. So in the introduction, you will explain that yes, cooperative federalism means working in harmoniously with each other. The central government and the state governments cooperate with each other on various issues that are required for the welfare of the citizens of a country. We will also highlight those articles in our Indian Constitution which promote the concept of cooperative federalism. For example, All India Services, GST, zonal councils, etc. You will highlight all of these concepts that are there in Indian Constitution. Okay. Then you will write about the importance of cooperative federalism, that yes, after the multi-party system, it has become very important for the central government and the state governments to work for the welfare of the citizens, because the welfare of the people is its utmost duty. And you will also write that yes, all of the federal frictions can be solved, can be avoided by mutual understanding. So you can conclude very holistically that yes, cooperative federalism as a concept is very relevant in the Indian federalism. I hope this session was insightful for you. If you have any feedback regarding this session, you can drop it in the comment box below. If you liked today's discussion and found it to be helpful, Kindly like the video and subscribe to our channel for more such interesting updates. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.